Hi guys, and welcome back to another Premier League prediction video. Last time out we got one score correct, Spurs beating Fulham 2-1. Seems like it was a while ago, but we're back with some more Premier League predictions here. So without further ado, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and I'm going to leave a fixture list in the description, so in there, copy and paste into the comments and fill your scores in and see how you get on. Let's get in to my predictions. And starting off on Friday night with Villa taking on Southampton. Now Villa have struggled, 4 points so far, but their last point did come in their last fixture in a 1-1 draw against Man City. Very good result there for Villa. They're up against a Southampton side that seem a bit spiky. They won, lost in their last 4. So can't really get a good reading of them. But I think their next fixture is going to be a draw. I'm going to go 1-1. Two newly promoted sides face up next as Nottingham Forest take on Fulham. Now Forest will be slightly concerned. They're on 4 points, which isn't too bad. You know, they can easily turn it around. But their last fixture was against another newly promoted side, Bournemouth. They were 2-0 up and they lost it 3-2. This is another game against newly promoted side Fulham. They can't really afford to be losing these games. So we'll see how they get on here. But they're up against a Fulham side that, you know, they've lost 2 in their last 4 against Tottenham and Arsenal, both 2-1. They seem to have adapted to the Premier League pretty well this time. Mitrovic is in very good form. I think if they carry on the way they are, they won't really have to worry about being in a relegation battle because they've started very well. I think with this one, Forest being at home, at the City ground, fans getting behind them, I'm going to go down the middle here, 2-2. Wolves take on Man City next. Wolves, they got their first win of the season, 1-0 against Southampton, and they did draw the 2 before that, so they're unbeaten in 3. Just struggle to win games. Man City drew their last 1-1 against Villa. They don't struggle to win games, not normally, and I can't see anything other than a City win here. I know I said the same against Villa and then they drew, but I think City will win this one 3-0. Next up, Brighton v Palace. It has been postponed. I'll give you my prediction anyway if it was to take place this weekend. Not that it means much, but I see these sides being pretty evenly matched. I think Brighton will struggle to adapt without Graham Potter. Palace, hard to beat. If this was to be played this weekend, I'd be going for a 1-1 draw. Newcastle up against Bournemouth now. Newcastle, they've drawn 3 out of their last 4, but they've only won 1 so far this season. It's difficult because they've picked up a lot of good points against Man City, 3-3. Probably should have got a point against Liverpool. They were missing most of their key players. If they were there, I think they would have got a point at least out of that game. So they can get points out of difficult games, but when it comes to a game you'd expect them to win, they don't seem to be putting the pieces together. It's difficult. But Bournemouth, they have done all right. You know, you look, first 4 fixtures, lost 3, won 1. Parker gets sacked. But they were difficult fixtures. They won the only one that was really, you know, looked... It didn't even look possible, to be fair, to beat Villa in their situation, but they did. And, you know, they won their last one, 3-2 against newly promoted Forest. They're doing okay. I think they've been dealt quite a tough hand at the start of this season with the fixtures, but they've done okay so far. I think Newcastle now will start to crack on and win this one 2-0. Spurs up against Leicester here, and Spurs have been good. You know, they're 1 point off the top of the table, a good start. Do they score enough goals? Maybe not. But they seem to be good defensively and they get, you know, wins by small margins, but 3 points is 3 points. It's just whether, one day a team's going to score too many goals for them to win a game. It's a difficult one because you look at teams like City who tend to win by comfortable 2-goal margins, 3-goal margins. Spurs don't seem to have that in them at the moment, but they're defensively sound so far, so it's all good at the moment for Spurs. And they're up against the Leicester side that have been terrible. 1 point in their first game, and then they've went on to lose 5 in a row. Again, I think Spurs will win it, but I'm going to go for a small margin. Some Leicester players, James Maddison started the season all right. Barnes chipped in a little bit. There have been some okay performances, but their defence is awful. Their goalkeeper, Danny Ward, I'm sorry, but he is not a Premier League goalkeeper whatsoever. He's been so poor. And I think, they lost Schmeichel, didn't replace him. I think Spurs will get the win here, 2-1. Brentford up against Arsenal. And I'm quite excited about this one. Because Brentford, they've started the season okay, but their last game, they beat Leeds 5-2, and Leeds had started the season well as well. So Brentford, Ivan Toney with a hat-trick, they looked brilliant in that game. And if they can, recall some of that this weekend, there's a chance they can take all 3 points. Arsenal started brilliantly, won 5 out of 5. They did lose their last game 3-1 against Man United, but they still sit top of the league. They've still started very, very well. And I think this one could go either way. Honestly, Brentford, if Brentford play their best football here, I think they can win quite comfortably. But you look at the team who's got the more quality, it's Arsenal. And they do seem a bit better this season at, really digging deep against the teams they're expected to win and getting the job done. So I think Arsenal will win it, but I'm going to go for something entertaining. Arsenal to win it, 3-2. Next up is Man United v Leeds. This one's been postponed as well. For me, if it was being played this weekend, I think Man United are in good form. Leeds just lost 5-2 against Brentford. I think I'd go Man United to win anyway. But if this was going to be played this weekend, I'd go Man United to win it 2-0. Everton take on West Ham next. Now Everton, they cannot stop drawing. 4 in a row. They seem hard to beat. They were better at home towards the back end of last season. It seems to be, pretty similar. Hard to beat at home, but they're also picking up some points away as well. They've started a bit better than I expected, considering, looking at their squad. You take out Richarlison, who, that was sold and they didn't really replace. I think Lampard's done a decent job at the start of this season. They're up against the West Ham side that will feel hard done by because they started to pick up points. They got a win, and then a draw against Spurs, and then they lost their last one against Chelsea in pretty bad circumstances. The goal that was disallowed at the end, how on earth was that disallowed? It robbed me of a correct score as well because I did go for 2-2 in that one, and they have said that the goal should have stood, so pretty frustrating. But, West Ham, I think they're starting to get back into the flow now. However, Everton being at home, I said they're hard to beat there. I'll stick with that. 1-1. And the final game, a really big game, the most exciting of the weekend, and it's been postponed. Chelsea versus Liverpool. I wish this was going ahead because if this was happening on this weekend, and it was Graham Potter's first game in charge in the league against a Liverpool side that are struggling, I think I'd go for a Chelsea win. Now, when this is played, Liverpool will probably be back in form, but I'll just go with what I would have went for if it was played now. Chelsea to win, 1-0. So, those are my predictions for this weekend's Premier League fixtures. Now, 3 have been postponed so far. Whether more will be postponed before the weekend, I'm not sure. But I'm recording this on the Tuesday. Hopefully, let no more games get postponed, but you never know. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any more Premier League content.